that's right. Hi, can everybody see my screen now? Yeah. Thanks, Simon. That was really interesting. I can't help thinking we need to do that in every single school in the in Leeds and the joint school, but hopefully we will get to do that in time. Anyway, so my project is my project is about collaboration and collaborative online international learning in the Southwest Jartong Leeds joint school, which I'm part of. So usually the context is that Southwest Jartong and Leeds have, they teach 5 degree programs. In year 1, the students learn English, maths, physics, scientific problem solving or chemistry, and then they go on to do their engineering degrees. At the end, the students in China get dual degrees, but during the time that they're studying together in years 2, 3, and 4, there are parallel modules in Leeds and Chengdu. And usually they're taught separately. But I thought, and partly because one of the guys who was the module leader of an electrical and electronic engineering module, we thought, why not try and put the 2 cohorts together? They don't have to be separate. So actually, we thought that transnational education is a really good opportunity for collaborative online international learning. So this happens in many different settings, but usually you have to kind of find your partner and find a project. So we thought, or I thought, and encouraged people that this is actually a really good opportunity because the students are studying the same things anyway, so we don't have to find a partner and we don't have to decide what they're doing. And collaborative online international learning, we talk a lot about students, study abroad and going to study in different areas and things. But actually, this is a really inclusive experience because all the students get an international experience, whether they can afford to come travel or whether everyone on both sides benefits. So what actually happened was that there were 2 modules in electronic and electrical engineering. It was transistors and optoelectronics. It was merged, so they became into international groups. And they had to do a seminar and video presentation on global solutions to photovoltaic power. Now, I don't know anything about photovoltaic power, but the reason I became involved and why Matthew Ketteringham, who's my colleague who works in-sessionally in Southwest Jartong, is that the module leader asked generally for help, and I sort of heard his call and he asked for help about doing group work with students. So we became involved in facilitating this because this was the international communication part of this task was assessed, and the students were finding that quite difficult. The reason why this was welcomed and is a good idea, I mean, in terms of external bodies like the accreditation for I can't remember the name of it now, for electrical engineering. But in AHEP 4, which is talks about a lot about the learning outcomes for students in engineering programs, they're wanted to collaborate, to develop their soft skills, to become better focused, not just on the technical things. The collaborative review that we had with the joint school, we're very keen on trying to get the 2 cohorts to mix more. So this seemed like a perfect opportunity. So it was mainly Matthew Ketteringham and the 2 module leaders, one in Leeds and one in China. What they did mainly was, first of all, divided into 2 parts. So what are the barriers to COIL for both staff and students? And then the second part was, how can the barriers be overcome? And what can the benefits of CORE be for both cohorts? So the people involved, we did focus groups with students, we did questionnaires for both parts. We had the electrical engineering module leaders from both Leeds and South West Jartong, and we had EAP in sessional staff. Matthew would have come to this today, but he's on leave over the Easter holiday. And student interns, so the Faculty of Engineering employed people to help us with the data, which was very useful. So what we've happened is in terms of output so far. So it was actually just Matthew and I, because we couldn't get everybody in one place at one time. But Matthew and I went to an international symposium for engineering education, which was really interesting because everybody else was an engineer. We were the only EAP people there. But it was really interesting to be there and to listen, and that was really exciting. And then we went to a Bali PIM to do something similar. And at the moment we're working on the four of us, so me and Matthew being the EAP people, Joanne being the electrical engineer module leader in China, and Alex Valavanis doing a chapter in our forthcoming book. It's not published yet, but forthcoming. So what is really interesting about this book, I suppose, is that there's about 20 of us. Nobody has done any pedagogical research before. Alex particularly and Joanne have done lots of engineering research, but this is the first time that they've done any pedagogic research. So we're working and researching together, which is kind of a bit of a new thing for all of us. So I think the conclusions that we have, I would say that the collaborative online international learning itself can benefit both cohorts of students. I mean, if anybody's interested in our findings, then obviously I can say a bit more about that. What it seemed to be that the students were absolutely fine with the technical detail. They didn't have any struggles with professional, the engineering content, but they struggled a lot with communication, language to some extent, and working in teams. That was the main thing. What we found was that both the language and the content specialists learn a lot from working together, and I think it's really helped Matthew's visibility in the school and in the joint school, and it's really helped other people to think, oh, maybe we should all do this. We have found that doing pedagogical research that gives an evidence base, it does seem to be making a difference to policy. So people are listening to what we're saying. And so now we've just started this semester. We've just started with a joint merged cohort in mechanical engineering. So we've just got 3 more schools to go. Computing, civil engineering and materials engineering, but I'm hoping that we could get something like this for all the students cohorts in both universities, because it's really helpful for them and for the staff. And that's all I've got to say now. So I think it's over to Kevin.